I'm Christina, and
I'm Jody.
And we are getting married on Friday.
I think I was 18 at the time.
And I was 17. Or no, was I still 16? Oh, yeah, I was 16.
You're 16.
I just turned to see this guy and these beautiful blue eyes.
And a fool's grin.
And I just remember going, hello, hi, who are you? And we started talking. I would help him with his chem homework, and we started hanging out, and we became friends. And I was kind of dating another guy, and basically he cheated on me, and so I dumped him real fast. And I told him, like, I am not dating for a month. I have no idea why I said that, but I'm not dating for a month. I am going to stay single for a whole month at least. And so
I marked that on my calendar, by the way. Not a day longer.
So as soon as the month was up, and he and I really became good friends, and we were in the parking lot. Was it?
I believe so.
He's like, so the month is up. And I was like, oh, yeah, it is. Okay. And he's like, so do you mind if I kiss you? And I'm like, okay. That was insane.
Yes.
Then his parents moved.
Yeah.
They moved to Alabama. And my dad did not want me leaving. There's a college here, so go to FAU. There's college. There's everything. Everything you need is right here. He didn't want me to leave.
Well, the plan was to get her all the way through college first, and then her start her career. And then I would go to college and do something that would be complementary to whatever shit was that she was doing.
I wanted to be a performer. My parents decided I was better off getting a business degree. Eventually, I kind of went along with what my dad wanted me to do. There was a friend of mine, Eric, and he had a crush on me. And he just kept hanging around, and my dad was like, I think you should go with this guy. I'm like, but I want to be with Jody. He's like, well, this one's a much better choice. I'm like, oh, okay. And eventually, it just wore on me. Yeah. And I made the worst mistake of my life. Yeah. So we both got married.
Yes.
He went into the Navy and about imploded, but he went into the Navy, and
I searched the entire planet from Saudi Arabia to the Far Orient to find somebody that complimented me the way that you always did. And I can guarantee you that person does not exist. So when I came back stateside, I ended up settling. One day led into the next, and before I knew what was happening, 10 years had gone by, or 15 years had gone by.
20 years had gone by. I lost contact with him. I didn't have a number, especially once he was in the Navy. I couldn't contact him, and I knew I'd made a mistake. And I wanted him back, and I felt like he'll never forgive me for being so stupid. So
she doesn't know is I forgave her the second after I read the letter.
Yeah, I did a Dear John letter. I had a life where I made my bed. I was just going to be as happy as I could be and live with the mistake that I had made. It wasn't a happy marriage after the kids arrived. It just wasn't. And we grew apart, and he wasn't happy and I wasn't happy, but we were still friends and we were still together, but it wasn't a marriage anymore. I was like half asleep, and I think I'd had a glass of wine, and I just Facebook texted him, and I said, this is the biggest mistake in my life, and you're the love of my life, and that was the biggest mistake I ever made, was leaving you and not just running away with you when I could have, and letting life happen to me rather than being the one that was controlling what was happening in my life. And he came back with kind of a, can I call you tomorrow?
Yes.
And I'm like, okay. So that was a Saturday, and Sunday we spoke for 4 hours on the phone, and we just started talking like on a weekly basis, and then every few days, and then
daily,
and
then we were getting in trouble at work because we were on the phone too much.
But we started opening up about what our lives had been for the last 27 years and what we each gone through, and neither of us had been happy for a very long time.
So Jody met his first wife at a place he was working, and they were together a long time. I hate to say I told you so, but he did run off and get married without telling me the first time, because I was like, no, don't do it. And then they lived near us. We have 10 acres in the country in Alabama. And it was a hard time for him through the whole trying to get used to somebody that is so different than he is. And then after many, many years, they finally had a baby. He wasn't going to, and I'm so happy he did. We have little Alice now. That's how that worked out, and it was just really an interesting and difficult time.
After that amount of time passed being with other people, it makes it difficult to separate yourself from that. You no longer want to be there, but you don't want to really destroy the person that they are, you know, and it was not an easy decision to come to. But we had dedicated our lives to other people for so long and been so miserable doing it. I mean, there were good times.
Yeah, it's not all, but there was laughter, but it was so tough because we weren't with the right person.
Yeah.
It was always supposed to be him and I. Unfortunately, we had other people get caught up in our mistake. And it was trying to figure out how do we fix this, because we can't live like this anymore. We were trying to figure it out, and Eric decided to leave in a very permanent way. It was weird because there's that weight of I don't have to worry about him, along with I can't believe that he left like that and leaving his kids and his mom and all of his family. So I'm like, okay, well, now what? Called his family, let them know what happened. Had to tell the kids what happened. And I called him, and he's like, what do you need? I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to do this all by myself.
So I hopped in my truck and
I've got a Rotary, I've got 2 kids, I have a huge house, I've got work, I've got this, I've got that. I'm like, I have my mom, I have everything, and I have no idea how I'm going to do this all by myself. And he's like, okay, what's your address? Tell me your address again. I gave it to him. He's like, all right, I'll see you in about 10 hours.
I drove down, grabbed my little dog, drove down, and have never left.
He just showed up at the door, and I'm like, it was crazy because I was like, well, welcome home. Come on in.
I know it's nothing new, but it's so good to see you. We do this every day, and I'm still so amazed by you. So hold me tight through the night. It's just us two, me and you.
Whenever I saw the truck coming down, I was just like, my heart was just like pounding out of my chest. I couldn't believe that I was actually going to see him. He was going to that it was real, that it was happening, that I was going to get him back physically. And it's like we were together emotionally. We were starved emotionally, so it was like the emotions were already there.
Yeah.
And I'd already said, if we're going to do this, are you going to marry me? And he's like, yes, I will. And I'm like, okay. Because I'm like, I'm not doing this without it's like for real. We're actually going to do what we should have done. And he's like, absolutely. I'm like, okay. We stayed up, and it was just a lot of crying and hugging and kissing and like, oh my gosh, you're here. And it was insane because we hadn't seen each other in 27
years.
27 years since we'd seen each other. So he came home and he never left, and it was so easy. So easy. We move around this house, and he's never been here, but it's home. He moves around the house. We are in the kitchen together. We cook together. He went and got a smoker, and I have a sous vide. We cook together. We combine all of our different ways, things that we've learned over the last 27 years.
We have made some beautiful meals.
and he accepted my rats, which was, that's kind of crazy, but I have a son, so allergic to dogs and cats. What are you gonna do?
I saw the rats and I was like, that's kind of interesting. Doesn't matter. Just like when I was a teenager. Whatever she's into, I'm all in.
And he kept saying that. And I was like, are you serious? And then, and now he's now memorized the whole spiel. He's listened to it enough times that he's memorized everything, so he can do it. It's like verbatim what I tell people.
Still learning how to read the different people and how the rats react to them. I am still the apprentice rat whisperer.
He's a stabilizing force in this house, and we still don't fight. We don't argue. We don't anything.
When it came to the kids, it was important to me that they don't just accept me because their mom accepted me. I needed to earn that title of dad. And I told them, don't call me dad until I earn that title.
Yeah,
It took the son a while to...
It took the boy a little bit, but eventually it probably took about 2.5 months, 3 months, and he just like, Dad? And he's like, yes, son. He's like, I love you. And I was just like, ah!
This symbolizes the union of the two families. What I would like to now is have the two families come and give their vine or their to the families. The Millers.
My love, after our separation 27 years ago, I searched from Florida to the Middle East, the Far Orient, for someone that completed me the way that you did. And I absolutely am sure that that person does not exist. You are my person. The one who fits perfectly with all of my quirks. Life will throw trials and tribulations our way. Know that I will be by your side and your steadfast companion, just like Samwise was to Frodo. As we have in past lives, and as we will in future lives, I pledge my undying love to you.
Jody, you are my always, my forever, my reality. Over 1,000 lifetimes I've found you. 100 worlds you found me. This isn't our first time nor our last whenever we make these promises. I make you this promise as I have in the past. I will love you more today than yesterday, and not as much as I will love you tomorrow.
May you enjoy a lifetime of love and peace, happiness and prosperity. Go in peace, live in joy. By the authority vested in me by the state of Florida, I now pronounce you husband and wife. And Jody, you may kiss the bride.
Hey Jody and Christina, it's me Joey. Today's the day. Your families are finally united after 27, 28 long years. May every day, just as today, be filled with joy and prosperity. Congratulations guys, love you both.
I've been around the block, you're the cream of the crop. No one gets me quite like you do.
Hi Ma, I love you Mom. And Dad, you have high chances of being better than my other dad, because the other one wasn't that good.
When I mess up and lie, you still stand by my side. You fix me when I'm broke, when I'm...
Tina and Jody, we are so happy for you guys. It's amazing how you found each other back in each other's arms. But Tina, we love you. It's just so wonderful to see you so happy.
Yes.
Right now is the happiest we've ever seen you. And it's amazing, and we are just so grateful to Jody for giving you that happiness.
'Cause there is only one you. I'll repeat my mistakes, yeah, I've made your heart break. When I mess up in life, you still stand by my side. You fix me when I'm broke, when I'm down, you bring hope. You're still hanging on, 'cause that's what you do. There is only one you.
If you get somebody that you are so compatible with and you guys agree on almost everything, then that's really who you need to be with.
And it doesn't matter if you're 16 or if you're 26 or you're 36 or you're 46. Age is just a number. If you feel about that person, and I'm not talking hormones, I'm talking like pure compatibility, go for it. Figure out how to make it work. Figure out how to keep that person in your life. Because life is short. And even if we live until we're 100, it's still short. And there's so much going on. You need to have somebody that has your back, that knows you for who you are, and loves you and appreciates you for who you are.
And allows you to be.
And allows you to be who you are. Yeah.
And I'll be singing Holy Mother of Moses. I just wanna buy you roses. Open every door that closes. And kiss you from your head to your toes. I like your soul, baby. You got that heart made of gold, baby. I'm gonna love you till I'm old, baby. I just wanna be your baby. I like your soul, baby. You got that heart made of gold, baby. I'm gonna love you till I'm old, baby. I just wanna be your baby. I like your soul, baby. You got that heart made of gold, baby. I'm gonna love you till I'm old, baby. I just wanna be your baby. I like your soul, baby. You got that heart made of gold, baby. I'm gonna love you till I'm old, baby. I just wanna be your baby. I like your soul. I like your soul. I like your soul. I like your soul.